I said I was going to start this off differently. Gentleness, wisdom, and eternal love. Mhm. This is the glory of glorification as we open in our fatty of our su'uf being. Yes, indeed. Everything is coming live and on scene. It's truth telling time. It's truth telling time. We're going to bust it open. So, our divine subject matter and our discussion today is going to be the cure. That's right, the CURE, the cure. So let's jump right into the importance. This how easy it is. Number 8, Allah is the ultimate therapeutic of the soul. We're gonna jump right to it. We're gonna jump right to it. The ultimate cure is Allah. Now you may have no idea what that is. You may not have no idea who that is. That's the point. That's the point. We're talking about the ultimate therapeutic. So we're talking about the end of suffering in any shape, any way, any form. Allah is the cure. Just need us to know this right here. If you care about your peoples, you give your people the truth. And this is why people are, let's use as our Su'uf says, the cure of the illness. So there has been generations of illness, mixing of these illnesses, passing on these illnesses from unknown to known, from indigenous trauma to ancestral slave trauma. We're talking about the cure that crosses boundaries. So don't matter where you at, or as we say in the South, or where you from. This is deep science right here. And so I'm going to help us go into this truth right here. Now you know Allah as Jesus Christ. It's just going to jump to the gun. It's a significance to understanding what's in that Bible. See, this Bible have hooked our people for long amounts of years without any investigation, but just belief alone. This has been passed down from generation. And so we must get some understanding of this book. But we must get the understanding of this book in correlation with and in the truth. The understanding of what we need to understand is very significant. It has overlaid within the character of Jesus Christ. And so this imagery thing that we have to deal with, these are deep understandings that have been hidden from us, covered through elaborations, such as what we finna just read a quick sentence, and then we're going to jump into the substance. This imagery represents the 7 spirits of God. I just want us to hear that because we're familiar with it. But what are these 7 spirits of God? Beyond name, we can get some little fancy names, but how does this correlate to truth? So this imagery represents the 7 spirits of God. What is this imagery? This is what's called the Lamb. The Lamb represents the 7 spirits of God sent forth into all the earth. Now they have translated for their own benefit. So we're looking beyond the political agenda. We're looking into what was our ancestors leaving behind as an understanding. And this is what's very, very important that we want to understand, that's coming from, and your answer to, if you was ever interested to let us, that phrase in Genesis, let us make man. This us is the 7 spirits. Now these 7 spirits are, instead of being 7 divided spirits, these 7 spirits are not 7 divided spirits. These are 7 spirits that are collective, that have not separated, but has actually joined to actually manifest the divine. See, and this divine is called the Lamb. And I hope that we can have our Creator open our hearts and allow us to receive this revelation. Now, the Lamb signifies Allah, but they have overlapped it with Jesus Christ. So we're just being blunt. So you know the Lamb is Jesus Christ, and this is how the Lamb came to be. This is a science that have been reversed and re-engineered by institutions against indigenous peoples because of this highly advanced technology. So this technology that is finna be explained is greater than any institution, greater than any teaching in any institution. This is why this was reversed, re-indoctrinated, and then given as a dogma instead of an understanding. But we talking about the truth of the Bible. Now, the 7 represents wisdom and knowledge combined to manifest into all of the earth. So before I saying the words, I'm going to show you the ancient proof. I want us to see just some of these little visuals of ancient art, because this is what the ancient art is explaining through art. So we see this is an ancient art depicted, redacted by the Romans and Greco-Roman culture. But intentionally, where they get this from is a whole deep science. They got it's a deep intentional science of intent. And they take this science and then degrade it, make it devil worship, and now you don't get into the deeper aspects of the knowledge, the application of the knowledge. So what the Bible gives you is the surface level, and now you just got a head knowledge, but you got no application to it. So this is the understanding to the application. Let me bring in a script that match. The phrase, the biblical phrase, take up my cross. This is the ancient art. You see the original cross is the flesh. But today, we have we see this. Then if they really want to antagonize you, they'll put this. See, it's art with no application. So without application to what that means, it's just a cross. And then you think it means this. So over time, this is how the Bible will have you confused and have you misperceive what's being told in the scripture as a science. And so you see that more. Okay. Another biblical phrase from Obadiah 1:4. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, thence will I bring you down, said the Lord. See the art depicting the cross and the star. The Creator say, I will bring you down from the stars. This is why you have a certain geometrical shape to your form. It's not because you're just a Joe Blow. We're going to begin to that answer. So all these little symbols you may have seen all means the same thing. We at the root of truth where everything grows from. So it don't matter what form it takes. This is the essence. So all that means the same thing, the cross and the star. And we're going to bring that in. If you could do the numbers on the cross, how many points on the cross and how many points on the star, 4 and 5. You get the self manifested from God, Allah. And see, so the highest form, these two are indication of the two conditions. You heard a familiar script, if I need to pull it up, that you could speak from bitter and the sweet. So these are where it's talking about just as an art. We're talking about the two inclinations. And you can think with the cross, and you can think with the star. This is what the Bible is referred to. There's two conditions. And the Creator gave you both. So those pictures is showing you the lamb. Since I didn't show you a picture of yourself up there, let me show you your lamb. You have what is called, in science, they say thalamus, but it comes from our ancient ancestors left in the scriptures, known as the lamb. So this is how you get what is called a Muslim and the lamb. Now we're finna go into and show you something right here. These are just computer generated images, right? I want us to see something. I'll show you something right here. How this science was already in stone before it was in pages of a book. And before in stones, it was in our ancestors' mind. Okay, this is how we get to what is called the brain. Science call it the brain. We don't call it the brain. Our ancestors did. Do we see a resemblance? Is what we want to look for. This is a hieroglyph of the brain. Without no CAT scan, without no x-ray. The meaning before science could even discover, they had to understand this is already understood. So what was being explained was the lamb. This is how you became a cross and a star. From this area that the mouse is covered over. This is what is called the al-Fatiha. This is you came from the open. When the creator wanted to create it, when the creator wanted to create you, this is how you was created. And this opening, guess what fills this opening? Your body of flesh. Symbol right here was the L. This whole shape was the ancient symbol of the L. And inside of the center of the L, this is where you get L. And that substance comes out the mind of Allah. The self was what our ancestors was teaching. The knowledge of self is the knowledge of Allah. We didn't know the concept of what they call the concept of God now. Their concept and their culture of God is not the same as ours. If your culture don't go around obliterating others' culture, if your culture don't go out taking out others' knowledge, that's the others' culture. When we're talking about the lamb, we're talking about something divine. And our ancestors seen everything that came into existence as divine. That was our culture. But this is what was reversed, and all the teachings turned upside down. This is what is called the way of Islam. So when our people say this was the way, this is not nothing hypothetically. This is deeper than the hieroglyphs. This has to do with the divine creator. So in our culture, we have a covenant with our creator from us being created. today it's being watered down by a lot of people before my words could get to a lot of ears. That we talking from beyond the stars is how you got here. And you was made from the light of the stars to come into existence. This whole process of you coming into existence, prior to you coming into existence, is called Islam. This is why after you come into existence, you have not heard it in this type of form or this type of way. Because this is the whole point of this world. This society is to take you and make you abandon yourself, which is Islam. So we knew in the past how we came to be. Nationality wasn't a thing for us. Just how we came to be men and women was our time. And this is how it's being explained from these stories that's in these texts. These stories are actually biological processes and anatomy. Guiding you through stories, using it in a way to get you self-knowledge. And so all the clean ones, where it was straight to the point, was burned, eradicated. So all the poetic forms and culturated forms started coming on the scene. So there's a deep science into this lamb, the lamb. This little tiny little opening. This is what is called third heaven. See, how we came is how we leave. This open is how we came. So when we leave, just like the same door you leave when you leave out your house, when you come back in, you come through the same door. So this sign's been blocked off to control the masses' minds and put them into a mind control. But this is the Al-Fatiha. When you are saying the Al-Fatiha. This is what they mean by, let me bring up a script. We heard this phrase. In Matthew 19 and 24. And again, I say unto you. All this is not just any type of talk. This is wisdom in metaphors. Now you're going to be able to see with wisdom how wisdom is here. And if you have wisdom, you can seek the wisdom out of the text. In Matthew 9:19 and 24, and I say unto you, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. See, and now that would be for a rich man to get to the wisdom of Allah. It's for a camel to go through the eye of a needle. We should know what that is. Do we see the eye of the needle? This is why wisdom is called the pinnacle. Wisdom is how you get up and elevate the cross, elevate past the star and into the way. Known as third heaven by Noble Drew Ali. Spirit man, said by Noble Drew Ali. Now this is called the Lamb, representing Islam. And knowing this is called the way. As-Sufian is Islam. This is a frequency like tuning forks. This is the cure. This is why this was the cure, because this was a knowledge and a wisdom that if you understood this wisdom and knowledge, you cured. This is why you will hear phrases that says, through your faith, you are healed. You could be healed just from understanding what this knowledge and wisdom has been speaking to you for. This is all immediate. This is all instant. You ain't got to wait like mail. So this is what you call the orgasm is. That orgasm, that substance orgasm is the lamb. And what comes the lamb? Allah. This is what our ancestors knew. This is what was called knowledge of self. This is what is called your divine birthright. The way of Islam. If you understand what your ancestors did for you as they did for me, we're talking this lamb don't come from no earth. This lamb comes directly, is the child of God. So collectively, our people was children of Allah. This was from our ancient land of America. All the knowledge of God, all the knowledge of Jesus Christ is our ancestral knowledge of Allah. And our ancestors, just like they left the promise, they left the promised land and they left the way. And this was seeked out to be destroyed by the enemies of truth, as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. This is what have been hidden from you. Which is the knowledge of self. You know, we was just so fly with it. We didn't call it knowledge of self as it's so plain now as knowledge of self. We called it Islam. It is what it is. And the whole Lamb of God, now you should understand. How Allah created Allah. The closest place you can meet Allah is self. This is very important. This is what was stripped away and stripped away. So you see it on the screen, just for yourself, that knowledge of self was called Islam for us. Knowledge of self. Self is lamb. It's no easier. So don't lead yourself to no slaughterhouse. That's why these things are in the text. But they reverse the text in some areas because it goes against self-knowledge. And so the enemy is to make you go against your own self so you can hate yourself. See, we didn't know nothing about no Jesus Christ, praying to no Jesus or anything of that nature. If we wanted to eat, we didn't pray. We went to the field. This is the big difference of their culture, which they do no farming, no field, but they got buildings and food going in them. But no farm behind it. So where's all the food coming from? Because in Islam, you got to grow your own food. Ain't no God coming down to plant the seed for you. This is why it's called Islam. You go plant the seed if that's what you want. We plant to eat, not spend money to eat. This is what they did when they took or let's say it this way, this is what happened when they led the lamb to the slaughterhouse. They took our innocence. We being offsprings of masters and conquerors, but we been hit in the head, not knowing the greatness. They hid the knowledge in a language called English. So we had to crawl our way back without no help from any other nation, not even an African. American black man and black woman who was so-called black by the enemies of Islam, because you won't find that in Islam. You're not black in Islam. You Allah. And this is why this was the most dangerous teaching for indigenous people to know and have. And so this is why the murder in the Holocaust was committed by a lot of the popes. And this is why Christianity was formed. And now you have no knowledge of self. You might not even have no land to plant. You might not have the way of your ancestors. You might just have schools and PhDs and doctorates. That ain't from your ancestors. Your ancestors didn't leave you to get no doctorate. You didn't need to get no PhD to have a family. This is what was known to us, and all our knowledge, wisdom, and understanding was kept by our ancestors for this very present moment. And this stuff been trying to be hid by these people who anti the way. So I'm gonna bring drew Ali in because he was bringing something to the people, understanding before others was bringing anything of Allah. And we're going to repotentize these words so we can understand from divinity. Well, I've been given that ability from the Creator. We covered a lot of things already. The mind never forgets. So whatever is being forgotten ain't the mind. This is also talking about Islam. Spirit man, Islam. Now, the phrase begins as soul, spirit man, as seed. This is what we want to understand. This is why the Creator gave us the gift of planting if we want to eat. Not only can you plant seed, you are a seed that was planted by the Creator. Put stumbling blocks and obstacles in our way. But this is what I want us to know, is that the seed we are star seed. So the spirit man is a star. Move on from the cross to the star. And this is what's going to lead you to the way. And then once you get to the way, you don't need the cross or the star. Now these two are your earth and your footstool. Right on. I talk so hefty. Higher thoughts than lower thoughts. Yes, sir. Higher ways than lower ways. That's knowledge of self. The Creator ain't talking about you beneath him and he above you. That's knowledge of self-talk. We're talking about the higher and the lesser. You got two thoughts you can use. So before we get there, that's why we're talking about the potency. Because we have something called the arm, leg, leg, arm, head. This is called proof of Allah. So as the star seed of Allah held deep within himself the attributes of every part of Allah. This star form you have as a star seed holds deep within. It's called the self. Deep within the flesh, you got something that holds every part of Allah, called the self. His self. This is what you are. As the Father, as the Son. This is what it's talking about, not in biblical talk. We're talking about being offspring of the Creator. That we are the Creator We are his cells. See, this is why Islam was so great. Everyone in Islam was child of God. But we weren't using the word God until deep after dealing with culture. And now we have taken in this word to perfect this word to its actual cause and meaning. We're going to be to this. We call this the divine collection of everything in you is every part of the universe is arm, leg, arm, head. And everything within are the attributes, the characters of Allah. Now he's going to tell us about, as a star, this is why you pushed on TV stars. Because as a star, you are perfect. You are perfect as a source from which you came. That word, come. We was talking about the lamb, the orgasm. Come. Why do you call the lamb coming? Our divine ancestors were. They left the wisdom and knowledge. So when it's talking about the second coming, okay, we talking about the Lamb coming and coming again. You can't stop this process. This is each one of us. But the goal is to give the wisdom for all is Lamb. But the star is not unfolded until life is made manifest. The child is as perfect as the mother is. So man, the star, must be deeply planted in a soil that he might grow, unfold as does the bud you out of your mind. It got you into worshiping. You make a, but you might think it's flesh, but you're not flesh. But you call your flesh. You are the most sacred thing to yourself. Ain't no building, car, house, any other thought, anything more sacred than the self. The self is so sacred, he gave you many mansions. Then he gave you 10 heavens. But if you don't have knowledge of self, you don't know none of this. So this is why you need to learn, where did you come from? See, most parents was filled with Christianity, so you don't know where they come from. You need to know that whoever you think you came from, you need to know where they came from. And that's what our ancestors were telling us. You didn't come from me. You came from God. You, his lamb. His lamb. But we haven't been taught this. And so by time now, truth is dead. you can speak truth and they wouldn't be able to notice it. They wouldn't know what, because we talking about the death in the valley, in the dry bone. But Islam ain't no dry bone. You see, it's a living, thinking. Oh, we finna get to it. Let me let the book speak. This word, the heart of Allah, means the way. This is what we have to understand. Islam, the Islam that came forth from the way of Allah. This is why we never got the lamb. We didn't get the lamb from the way. We got the lamb from some other. And it could be those who went astray. Because if you bending down 5 times and you don't have this understanding, then you missing the gifts. That's called ignorant worshipers. This is why Noble Drew Ali didn't teach none of that stuff. You ain't got to do none of that. We talking about knowledge. They asking for things. You manifest by ritual. Dumb and long. You're not saved if you have that form. You still either worship life and not getting the fullest out of your own life. I can't wait till I get older. The older you get, the wiser and stronger you are. It wouldn't matter what it is. You think that tree will fall because it's another year older? Oh, you think it's getting more rooted? The tree live that long because it don't move. But that's another lesson of knowledge itself. But when we talking about how did we get here, that's like the tree of life. We got here from the tree of life. See, the Islam I'm speaking of come from the directly from him. For your study and your awareness, so you can be aware when it arrives. If not, then you didn't do the work. The Creator left you Noble Drew Ali, Elijah Muhammad, Master Farad Muhammad, and you still telling me you not aware? Send you Malachi, still not aware. None of these said the same thing. But how did we know and be able to recognize truth? There's only one Islam. There's only one Islam. Of Mecca or of America. If you had the truth, you would be free. Free, you just worshiping men or European gods. Do you think Allah, the creator of the universe, ain't free? Oh, you think somebody got Allah in jail, jailed up, and he the creator of existence? See, this is why our ancestor creators didn't tell us of God. They told us of Allah. Now, check this out. Now, this is how important you are to the creator. That he made you through Islam and brought you forth through Al Su'ufian. This is special. This ain't ordinary. This is belief in you that you can live and uphold the name for the days of your life. The you that came from the creator was foreordained to be the Lord of the plane of mind and of the plane of flesh. We're talking about you are ordained to be the Lord of your mind. You are ordained to be the Lord of your flesh. This is ordained, meaning order. You don't need a man, it's already birthed from the way. This is what it means when you come from the way of Islam. This is why we didn't get the full picture. They gave us a puzzle, pieces of the puzzle, but I done put the whole puzzle together. So we all can benefit now. We all can walk. We can all live. We can all call ourselves by the proper name that leads to that real ideal that you want and always vision. The wisdom of Allah is at hand. This is what he said as well. He said that you are fully human and you are fully divine. So much that you are human made by divinity. You made by divinity. And you to be the Lord of your own mind, to be the Lord of your own flesh. And you be the Lord of the things you bring to your flesh. So Allah Su'ufian. Su'ufian. That's what it's called, the husband. This is what's being given back to us. Your title to your vast estate. Our first father, as they called him, Abraham, was the first Su'uf. This, what you are understanding, is what Abraham was instructed. This is called the Su'ufa. But these are the pieces of that we had to recover so we can fully recognize the truth when it's at hand. So Allah Su'uf Fian is what created every living being that is. You only get the lamb by the lamb coming through the way. So Allah threw forth this human seed into the soil of mind. This is the soil of the mind. Well, let me show you this way. That blackness, that's the soil. Your mind is black. This is why they was trying to give you the science of black as science of darkness, but not in turn the skin tone and all that. That had nothing to do with skin tone, black and white. This was the science of creation. Out of darkness came the light. Just like out the black came the white. The white is the lamb. The lamb is the flesh that's coated with mind. And that mind is a human spirit. This is why you think the body is human, but it's the spirit that's human inside of the body. That's why a dog, it don't have the human spirit. The star has the human spirit. So the human spirit is supposed to be righteous, moral, virtuous, benevolent, understanding this knowledge of self. This is the cure of the illness that crosses boundaries. So when we're talking Allah, then we're talking about going past Genesis, like Genesis says. The earth was null and void. We're going into the deep, as the Elijah Muhammad said, the triple blackness. See, this is all talking about once you get through here. Second heaven into the third heaven, which is the opening. So this human seed is the star, and the star was put into the soil of the mind. And this star is what grew apace. And man became a living flesh. This is your birthright, knowing the knowledge of self. KOS. That's what it means to pick up your cross, take up your cross, and pick up your star. And now you can put down your cross and you can drop your star because now you know the way. We know the way. This is how you became a living flesh. It wasn't nobody blew something outside, standing out, waiting for you to come to existence and blew their breath in you. No. That breath was speaking about the flesh. That's the spirit part of the flesh, is the breath. Both of these is not the self. Self has a body as a constitution, a flesh as a constitution. But the body of the flesh is not what is self. That's the vessel for you to manifest. So when you understand this, this is how you became the Lord. This is how you become the Lord of your own mind. You tell your own mind what to do. Your mind listen to your voice. This is what the opposite functions called religion was using against us. This knowledge of self, this full power you had to conquer all parts, every part of the Creator. So all the other forms of those other forms of Islam, phonetically, is not the same. The Creator didn't create what He didn't create. And we'll know it by its fruits. What people practicing as the Quran and Bible, the Creator could not have made that. It's too much hell when we in heaven. And that's another thing. We in heaven. We live in heaven. These religions have told us we don't live in heaven, that we have to die. These are the things that's against, and they against the way. You are His lamb. And these imposters came in, cloaked themselves as Muslims, and began to teach people the way of those who went astray. This is how like the sun coming out. This is how the sun supposed to be coming out in people, as in the truth being revealed for you to save yourself. Listen to this carefully. I'm gonna say it a few ways. As it is written in the way of Islam, which is the same as it is in heaven. Now we've been given the Bible, and the Bible is written. The Bible talk about heaven. Is the Bible the same as it is in heaven? See, this is what people ain't been able to understand. See, because if you don't really understand this, you'll be going to another place just like this. This is a place that exists. But this ain't the only place that exists. But if you like it, the Creator don't hate you. Never will hate you. The Creator can never hate that which He creates. See, and this is why religion was turned upside down, like God mad at you. God in love with you. God worship you. This is why He asking you, did He create you? Did He put the sun in the heavens? It's not as it's written in the Quran. These books are written now. And if you read it, you know what's inside of it. Blessed is he that readeth. If you have read the Quran, now you know what's written inside of it. And the way is not inside of the Quran. How can not the way be inside of the Quran? You got to give the Bible props. The way is mentioned in the Bible, but not in the Quran. Very, very interesting to those who follow food. Let me show you that.
Got the cow in there. I remember we seen that cow. Cow.
They got the cow in there. They really do. Any man that's come out the holy su'ufa. Any man who speaks in great detail concerning the nature of paradise and promises you endless gardens and virgin campaigns as if you was kings is a liar and imposter. Check this out now. You done heard so many stories about heaven. You done heard so many stories about hell. I don't know if you heard any stories about paradise. But heaven and hell and paradise are three distinct places. So the Bible don't really tell you about paradise except you was kicked out of it. The garden, that's paradise. opposite of paradise, you got heaven and hell. This is why you are creators. And death to do with paradise, not heaven. Not you want to make it the paradise. Hope these things are that he shall be. He speaks in great detail concerning the nature of paradise. I can imagine people who been here longer, you heard even more details. I mean, people got great details. If we understand wisdom, then we understand that the wise don't go with no fool. You tell me, is that more imaginative or is that why they don't want you to read? The spirit came from Allah. This is